Ubuntu. I am because we are. You know, it's actually been 24 long years, literally a quarter of a century, since the Men's Cricket World Cup was last hosted on the African continent. But in 2027, that wait is finally over. And this beautiful African philosophy of Ubuntu, which essentially means compassion, kindness, and deep human connection, well, that forms the cultural heartbeat of this entire upcoming tournament. It's really all about celebrating a region defined by its extraordinary people, vibrant cultures, and just this absolute deep-rooted love for sport.
Okay, let's dive into this explainer of the 2027 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup. The official tagline they're going with is "Make the Circle Bigger," and as we'll see today, that's exactly what the International Cricket Council is doing. They're making the circle bigger with a totally revamped format, some truly spectacular venues, and a unified continental spirit. We're talking branding inspired by African wire bowls and vibrant colors like Zimbabwe chili and Namib dune. It's absolutely shaping up to be an unforgettable global event.
So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover 1. A return to Africa, 2. The new 14-team format, 3. 12 spectacular host venues, 4. The path to qualification, and finally, we'll wrap things up with 5. Tickets and travel prep. All right, let's get right into it.
Section 1. A return to Africa. We're going to explore the historical and cultural significance of these host nations uniting under the powerful theme, 3 nations, 1 heartbeat.
Now, what's really interesting here is that very first date, October 2nd, 2027. So, while the official 50-day tournament window actually begins on October 4th and runs all the way through to the final in Johannesburg on November 21st, reports indicate the ICC is planning to kick off the action a couple of days early on October 2nd. And why is this so significant? Well, October 2nd is Gandhi Jayanti, the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, who actually spent 21 highly formative years living in South Africa. The ICC plans to use this exact day to send a massive global message of peace, nonviolence, and unity across borders, turning opening day into, honestly, much more than just a cricket match.
And here are the 3 nations uniting to make all this happen. For the very first time, we have 3 co-hosts taking the reins: South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Namibia. Now, South Africa and Zimbabwe did co-host the tournament back in 2003, along with Kenya. But this is a massive, historic first for Namibia. They have never hosted World Cup matches before, so this is just a monumental milestone for their cricketing history and really for the entire region.
Moving on to Section 2, the new 14-team format. The tournament is quite literally making the circle bigger by expanding the field from the 10 teams we saw back in 2023 all the way back up to 14 teams. And that means a thrilling 57-match schedule.
Let's break down exactly how this dense, newly revamped competition structure works. It's a pretty incredible journey. Step 1 is this brand new concept called the Super Series. This is basically a play-in round where the 3 lowest-seeded teams battle it out and only the winner advances. Step 2 is the group stage, where those remaining 12 teams are split into 2 groups of 6. The top 3 from each group, plus the absolute best 4th-place team overall, survive and advance. That takes us to Step 3, the new Super 7 phase. And finally, Step 4 features the high-stakes knockouts, the semifinals on November 17th and 18th, culminating in the big final on the 21st. Let's look a bit closer at that 3rd step, because it completely changes the whole dynamic of the tournament. The Super 7 is a single round-robin pool featuring those top 7 qualified teams from the group stage. They'll battle it out in 21 grueling matches just in this one phase, fighting desperately for one of only 4 semifinal spots. The ICC actually introduced this twist specifically to dial up the competitiveness. It ensures there are almost no dead rubber or meaningless games right in the middle of the tournament. Basically, every single game in the Super 7 has massive semifinal implications.
Section 3. 12 spectacular host venues. Let's take a geographical look at where all this action is actually going to unfold.
Breaking down the 12 venues here, South Africa is taking the lion's share, hosting 44 matches across 8 different venues. This includes those iconic, massive-capacity stadiums like the 34,000-seat Wanderers in Johannesburg, Newlands in Cape Town, and Kingsmead in Durban, along with grounds in Centurion, Gqeberha, Bloemfontein, Paarl, and Kugamposa City. Zimbabwe is going to host matches across 3 venues, and Namibia will utilize 1 venue, which is the 7,000-capacity Namibia Cricket Ground down in Windhoek. Check this out, though. One of Zimbabwe's 3 venues is the brand new Mosi Oatunya International Cricket Stadium.
And what is absolutely mind-blowing about this is that it's located right near Victoria Falls. Literally, imagine traveling to attend a World Cup match just a stone's throw away from one of Africa's most breathtaking natural wonders. It really hits home how this tournament is designed to celebrate the continent's incredible experiences just as much as the cricket itself.
All right, Section 4, the path to qualification. Let's pivot from the venues to the teams themselves. So, the crucial point here is, how do these 14 highly coveted slots actually get filled? The magic number to remember here is 8. The top 8 teams in the ICC ODI rankings by September 30, 2026 will automatically qualify for the tournament. No questions asked. This top tier is almost definitely going to include heavyweights like India, Australia, and England. So, the race is fiercely on right now during every single bilateral series and tournament to stay securely inside that top 8 ranking before the cutoff date hits.
But what about the host nations? There is a really fascinating and honestly pretty unusual contrast here. South Africa and Zimbabwe automatically qualify because they are both hosts and full members of the ICC. But look at Namibia. Despite being a co-host, Namibia is an associate member, and because of that specific status, they are actually not guaranteed a spot in their own tournament. No way, right? They literally have to fight their way through the rigorous qualification pathway, culminating in the 2027 World Cup qualifier tournament just to earn the right to step onto the pitch at the Namibia Cricket Ground. Talk about immense pressure on the home team.
Section 5. Tickets and travel prep. Let's get practical for a second. If you're a fan dreaming of making the trip to Southern Africa, this section is going to provide you with some immense practical value.
The massive question on every prospective traveler's mind right now has to be, how do you actually get your hands on tickets for a 57-match tournament spread across 3 incredible, highly sought-after countries?
Well, here is a much-needed ticketing reality check. Right now, interest registration is officially open over at icccricket.com. But you need to know this is just registration. The official ticket sale dates and the seat prices are not yet announced. Because the global hype is already so massive for this, you have to treat any website or individual currently offering tickets as completely unverified. Seriously, for your own financial safety, stick only to the official ICC channels when the sales finally do open up. Until then, get on that registration list and start researching your flights, your accommodation, and your specific visa requirements for South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Namibia. Preparation is absolutely key here.
Which leaves us with one final thrilling thought to ponder. With a brand new, highly competitive 14-team format, a grueling Super 7 stage designed to test the absolute limits of these squads, and teams fighting for glory across some of the most spectacular venues on the planet, who will actually conquer Africa in 2027? Will a reigning powerhouse defend their legacy? Or are we going to see a brand new champion rise under the African sun? Keep a close eye on those ongoing qualifiers because the incredible journey to 2027 has already begun. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer and keep learning.
Ubuntu.